Esco.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Let's go. World No Dangerous Podcast. Vivo P's in the building. What's good?
Was going bar for bar with some
Shouts out to the fans, man.
Let's get it.
That's good.
Hondo up in this piece.
F to the R to the S to the H to the O to the U to the T. That fresh out.
What's up? Tell them my neighbors. Wake them up. Wake them up.
Know the drilling.
Come on, man. What's
a little
going
something up in here if you're feeling frisky. You know what I'm saying? A little something
Hey,
in there.
Beverly Hill Drillies, you know.
Wednesday night, you know what it goes down, man. Best hip hop debate show, man. We got J Kemp in the building. Bebo P, what's good with y'all, man?
Hey, man, just
Man.
ready to rock it like always. Fellas, how about you? J Camp, what's it looking like, bruh?
Locked and loaded. Pause. You know what I'm
Man.
saying? I've been waiting on
All
the day.
right.
You know what I'm saying? To get on the mic, pause again. And you know what I'm saying? Talk my ish.
There
So
you-
and I'm pleased, I'm proud, I'm happy, man. I'm not working. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the other pen in my hand. Not
There you go.
the
Power,
real.
what's up? Power 600, what's
Power, what's
good,
going
bro? A
on,
lot
man?
is going on this week. A lot
Yeah.
is. But
That
Iceberg,
corporate
how you-
America pen. I'm glad I
Yeah,
ain't got
yeah,
that in my hand.
absolutely, absolutely. Actually, both Iceberg and Power 600. How y'all brothers
Hey,
doing?
man,
Right.
everything's
How
good,
both y'all
man.
living,
Hey,
man?
this is gonna be a great show. If you haven't already, man, hit the like button, subscribe, man. You know how we do, man. It goes
that
down
noti
every
bell.
Wednesday, 9:30. We're here. Shout out to LB the Podfather. We're in the building tonight, man. But
Salute.
we got a good show tonight,
But
man.
shout out to the NFL shop too.
Oh, NFL shop, come
You know
on,
what I'm
man. You
saying?
know what I'm saying? Like, hit that NFL shop, get your little percentage off, man. Hit
Get
that
your
joint, man.
percentage.
Hold up, man. Mike 100 in the
Mike
building, man. What's
100.
good? We got a
What's
little
good,
AK off for
big
Mike
dog?
in the
100.
building.
What's good?
Man,
What's good?
What's good, man?
Man, what's going on with you, man? Like I said, man, we got to get it moving. And, man, shout out to James in the building. Come on, man. Let's
James.
go,
James
man. My
What it do?
super guy,
What it
Jay.
do?
What's
What's
going
happening?
down,
What's
man?
happening? What's
Hey,
happening?
again, this is the
Yeah.
hip hop community, man, that we building, man, over here, Fresh Out, man. Hit us on all the social media, man. Definitely hit the NFLshop.com and
Yes.
definitely, man, hit up our guys over at, you know how we do, myrapverse.com, man. That's the new flavor, man. Myrapverse.com, man. Definitely go check it out, man. Again, we don't have a lot of really dope hip hop platforms.
Right.
This is the new one. This is the new flavor. This is what we rocking with, man.
Oh, it's nice.
MyRapverse.com.
It's
You know
nice,
how it
too.
goes down, man. But we got a great show. We got to talk about that Nas. We got to talk about Ye. We got a lot to talk about a lot of stuff, man. But first, we got to talk about, man, and bring up our guy, DJ Scandalous, man.
What up, everybody?
What is going
What is
down?
going
What up?
on? What's
up?
happening?
Nothing
Now-
much.
Let's be clear, man. Y'all may not know DJ Scandalous. If you do, salute all day long.
You gonna
But
know him soon.
if you don't know DJ Scandalous, you've heard his mixes, you've been on his platforms, you've actually consumed some of his content at some point. Let's be clear. And if you don't understand, man, DJ Scandalous is basically, I want to say he's basically brought to the game almost a platforms connecting with almost 4 million people. Let's be clear and drop a bomb
Man.
for that.
Bizarre.
Come on, man.
Drop one of them
Let's go.
scuds. We
Man, we gotta
need
drop
that
the
scuddy.
scud. We gotta drop all that, man. Again,
Man, that mushroom cloud.
this
Yeah.
is what. If you don't understand DJ Scandalous, this dude has more followers than BET on YouTube. He got more followers than most of your favorite networks.
Facts.
And if we're not talking
Yeah.
about, and I always classify Scandalous as the real DJ Academics. DJ Academics
Say
is,
that.
and we salute them all day long. But we talking about classic
We
hip hop,
talking about
90s
classic hip hop.
and we don't have platforms like that. So again,
Right.
we went on a humble actually. we
On
met
the
trolling
humbug.
actually, and Scandalous said, "Hey man, what y'all doing? What y'all doing?
Being the
And
world's
then,
most
hey,
dangerous
and
podcast.
then it
that's
started
all.
from there, man. So again, if you don't know him, this dude is just crazy, classic hip hop, golden era.
Yes.
Nice in the crates.
Yeah.
Crate game is
and
official.
turntable crazy.
Yeah.
Crate
Like I said,
game.
academics does one thing, and we're not knocking him, no doubt.
Yeah.
But this dude actually DJs.
I can't even give academics the DJ title. Like it's just, it don't feel good to say that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Deep
man.
down, it don't. But Scandalous,
So again,
that's a DJ.
This thing, like, first of all, you've heard the mixes, YouTube all day long. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's serious out here. DJ Scandalous, what's going on tonight, man? Tell the people what's good.
Nothing much. Just kicking in with you guys. You know, I love your platform. I love what you guys are doing, and I just want to be a part of it.
Hey, that's what's
Absolutely,
up,
man. We glad you're here, bro.
Yeah.
Hey,
now this thing, man. Like, where did your love for hip hop come from? Because again, the platform that I see you building, and then the reach that you have, the followers just love the content, man. Where did that love come from, and why did you feel like you wanted to build a platform to bring some of these guys together, real true hip hop fans?
Well, my love for hip hop, I'm an 80s baby, so I was born in 88, so I came up in the early 90s, and my first memories of hip hop was Naughty by Nature's OPP. You know, I remember,
Classic.
you know, I lived in the hood because my family was very poor because my family was from Puerto Rico. So we lived in the hood and on the East Coast. And I remember like going outside, everybody would be on their porch and have boom boxes, and everyone would be playing Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby, and Can't Touch This, and jump around, you know. And I just remember that song sticking out because it had a slamming beat. You know, Serch came hard on that track, and that track has always been one of my favorites because it takes me back to 91 when I was just a little young kid, and how great life was back then when you could just go outside and play basketball.
Oh yeah.
You know, we had the milk crate basketball, you know, the hoop.
Oh yeah.
Mess around and get your triple double.
Oh yeah.
We didn't have
it couldn't even hit the rim. It had to go straight through.
I had
go
to.
straight through. That's how you get your jumper moist. You know what I'm saying? On the crate.
That's how it counted.
So I didn't really get introduced to like Tupac and Biggie later on until I was like 9th, 10th grade. You know, my brother's 6 years older than me, so he was always listening to like Bone Thugs and Harmony, If I Ruled the World, and this was around like 99 or in the year 2000. So I didn't really understand hip hop at that time because I was young. I was only like 9 or 10, and what happened was he was always listening to it. And I remember him playing Tupac songs over in his room. It was a Still I Rise album. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
The tracks like Good Die Young and stuff. And I remember there was this track called High Speed, and the hook went like, what you gonna do when I get out of jail? I'm gonna buy me a gun. Then what's next? Food and sex, house parties, and the projects.
There you go. Okay.
and I just remember hearing that, and I just remember how great like the song was, even though I didn't understand who Tupac was at the time. And then eventually how I got introduced to Tupac's music and other rappers' music was I didn't have a CD player because I was young, and I was begging for a CD player because my brother would always have like different albums stuff. He had the Source CD. I don't know if you guys remember the Source CD where it had like all the different rappers on like Common and DMX and shit.
Yeah.
So he had that. So I would always try to steal it. Eventually, I got the CD and I got a CD player. My parents got me a CD player, and I remember for Christmas one year I asked for like Bone Thugs and Harmony because my brother would always play Crossroads, right? So that was one of my favorite tracks. They end up giving me Eminem.
Oh wow!
Okay.
So
It was close. It was close.
Slim Shady LP, which what my name is and all that, and then I had soundtrack for Godzilla with that P Diddy track on there. Yeah, and I remember that was really the only CDs I had. So I would every time on a school bus, I'll like pull out my CD, and really because I didn't want to really talk to anybody, you know. We moved out of the city and we moved to an all-white town, so there was a lot of racism, and me and my family kind of felt like black sheep, like outcasts, right? So we kind of like stuck to ourselves and didn't really bother anybody. And I found music as an outlet to like just calm down and relax and just focus on myself. So I would always have a CD player with me, listen on the school bus. And I remember I had the Slim Shady LP. I listened to that like every morning, right? And then eventually this white boy, he came up to me and he was like, yo, what are you listening to? So we had the old school headphones, you know, the little RCA ones with the little metal
padding,
bar.
the little foam padding.
So for us to listen, we had to put it like right here and the other one right here.
Oh yeah.
So like we were listening to that, and then he came the next day and he says, yo, my brother wants the Eminem album. are you willing to trade? And I said, nah, I don't know. So he came back the next day. He told me that he'll trade me Tupac's All Eyes on Me album, right?
Man.
Okay, all right.
And I was like, I don't know, but I've been listening to this same damn album for the last 4 or 5 months on the school bus. So I went back to my brother and I asked my brother about it, and he said, yeah, that's a steal. It's one of the greatest albums of all time. In my mind, being like a 9-year-old kid, I'm like 2 discs for 1, right? So I go back and then we traded, and as soon as I heard Ambitions as a Rider, I was hooked instantly.
Oh boy.
And that album's actually how I got my name, Scandalous, from Nate Dogg and Tupac. And
I had a feeling about that.
I feel like Scandalous.
Yep. And that goes back to Regulate. So,
Right.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Nate Dogg.
Yes. R.I.P. Nate Dogg, man.
Yes.
You said a key thing, man, that I think all of us have 80s babies have gone through as hip hop fans, and that's having somebody older than us school us on hip hop. That's been the blessing of our gen. We've had that. We don't do enough. Well, that's what FRSHOUT is trying to do now to these young ripper snappers. You know, you got a little milk on your chin, little snot nose, the snot box kid. That's what we're trying to do here. You know what I'm saying? Because that's very important. Not only of understanding the history of hip hop, but just passing down classics. Because if you ain't heard a Tupac bar, I mean, my son is 8. I make sure he knows what hip hop is. His mom don't like it, but I'm like, hey, he gonna know what hip hop is, and real hip hop at that, man. Because I feel like it's my job, it's my duty to do that. So you said, I feel like you said a very key thing, man, to what got you into hip hop and actually loving hip hop, because that's what it takes. Putting those albums in, the CD, the Walkman, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Discman, listening to that on the school bus. You know,
and every time you hit a pothole, the song will skip.
But the thing is, you know every single word, and you know when the pothole's coming, you can skip your bar. It skips with the, with the pothole. You still on beat, everything, man. But salute to you for that, man. Salute to your brother, though, man.
Yep.
For real, for putting you on game like that.
I mean, it's always a blessing to have somebody to help usher you into a rich culture, whatever that may be. And in this case, it was hip hop. So going from your beginnings that you just described to current date, I mean, you've amassed, as Iceberg stated, just a behemoth amount of followers and just subs, whatever you want to call them, within the platforms that we would like for you to just briefly expound upon to some degree, for those who don't know what DJ Scandalous has cultivated in the hip hop community on social media. So again, could you break down the platforms that you that people can gain access to, and why you created them?
Sure. So let me go back a little bit farther when I started DJing.
Oh, go ahead.
So I would say around 2005, 2006, I was still in high school. And back then we didn't have, YouTube was just coming out, but we didn't really have access to a wide variety of music. We had LimeWire and stuff like that. Right. So we had websites like Rap Basement, Rap Godfathers, and
where you try to go steal something for free. You know what I'm saying? Let me get something.
So I remember looking for albums, and I end up finding these forums like Tupac Forum, and there was a whole bunch of like Tupac Nation Forum and other hip hop forums, right? Yeah. So then on there, they would actually have download sections for songs and stuff for unreleased music, and on there, eventually there was a bunch of DJs. So like a lot of sites like this would have like DJ competitions and stuff. So that's how they would attract other people to come to the site, by having like different tournaments, like design tournaments and stuff like that too as well. So I remember being on a website, it was Tupac Nation, and I remember that's how I started like learning about remixes stuff, because I wasn't familiar with remixes just yet. It was around 2008, 2009 that I actually started getting into it. And then
during the session.
So I remember it was like a Fabulous song, "To So Into You" with Tamia and Ashanti, right? And I remember hearing that track, and I'm like, man, this sounds like a Ja Rule track. I'm like,
what facts though?
I would love to hear Ja Rule or Tupac on there. So I would go on the forum and I would see nobody would made the song yet. So I would request it, and it would just take forever. So then I just got the a passion to go do it myself. So I ended up
Got that
downloading
itch.
some stuff,
Yeah.
and the programs were horrible. The program would just show like a big green wavelength, right? So I would have to open up 2 programs. We had a section for acapellas and stuff, so I downloaded acapellas. And then back then, all I was doing was just copying over acapellas onto a beat. I didn't really understand that you had to like match up the speed of the beat and the speed of the vocals yet. But that's how I learned. So I ended up doing mixes that way, and we would submit it on the website, and they would give you feedback. So that's how I would really learn how to remix. And then I eventually, just by trial and error, I realized that words line up on the certain snares. So that's how I was able to learn how to remix on beat and correct. Right. So eventually I just made random remixes, and it got to the point where I had a Facebook page, DJ Scandalous Productions, it was called at that time. And I just had that. I wasn't really doing nothing with it, but then I would get a whole bunch of fans from like the Tupac websites, and some people would start putting my songs on YouTube around 2008, 2009, and they started getting like 30,000, 40,000, views and shit. It's just random shit. And people would always come to me to Facebook and say, "Yo, okay, can you do this mix, and can you put this out, and can you, I have somewhere where I could download it or listen to it." So that's how I end up creating my very first YouTube channel, which was called Tupac Lives On, right? And eventually from there, I just started just putting up random mixes that I had, and I can't tell you why some went crazy and some didn't. It just, it was the luck of the draw, really. And over the course of years, I've been expanding on what I'm actually doing on my remix side. I do Biggie tracks, I do DMX tracks, Eminem, Eazy-E every now and then, Method Man, even though he dissed me, that's another talk.
Hold on. We gotta talk about that too. Hold on,
we definitely got to talk about that.
Exclusives. Okay.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that exclusive.
First of all, you got a Meth shout out. So obviously Meth was listening. You know what I'm saying? His ears was perked. But go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
So I started doing like different remixes, but it was just the Tupac remixes that were popping. So eventually I expanded, and I did like Scandalous Talk, which I was going to break down news and stuff. And from there, my Facebook page started growing. So I expanded, and I made like different hip hop brands, and these brands were just to post pictures, like old school Biggie pictures, old school Pac pictures, and that's how they end up growing. So right now I have so many different brands. I have DJ Scandalous, Scandalous Talk. I have Hip Hop Dynasty, which has like 800,000 followers on Facebook. I have Rapverse, which is more modernized. Hip Hop Dynasty is old school, and then Rapverse is more like new school. It kind of in between. And then I have other brands. Stream Lyrics, which just posting about like Spotify lyrics, those little cards with the lyrics and the album picture. And then, I have my Facebook group, old school hip hop. And really the reason why I created so many different brands on Facebook, because I viewed it as, why would I really promote other people if they're not promoting me? Right. There you go. And I found it tough that people wouldn't promote me. So I created like other brands, and some of the brands were kind of similar. And then I came up with the idea that I would cross promote myself. So if I have something that grows big on one page, and then I have another page, it's going to give me more of a chance to have one page blow up than just concentrate on one page. And then when one blows up, I can promote the other page from, my current page, my main page. So I felt like having multiple brands will give me a big melting pot of fans.
And it did.
Totally
and it did. It worked. And so many other people have like I showed this blueprint to other people, and there's a lot of people succeeding with this. So what I would like advise anybody that's getting in hip hop is create a page for yourself and create like a couple other brands, and maybe you might have something that blows up. If you don't take the shot, then it's not gonna break.
And
out.
I just put all that in the chat, so all those links in there. So definitely go check it out. Go follow his pages, and definitely support. You won't be disappointed, man, because there's so many cats in there. There's so many posts that are so cool. You see what's going on, but you also get that classic stuff that you've been missing. Pictures that you haven't seen in a while. So that link is in the chat.
We did get a question too.
Sure.
Which I think is interesting. Are you responsible for that Biggie Billie Jean mashup? Shout out to James.
Oh no, I never did that one, but I know what mix he's talking about. And I actually remember listening to that track like 10 years ago.
That was dope. That was dope. It was super dope. But if you did do it, I was like, I want you to go ahead and get your flowers and
Yeah.
get your shine for that one. 'Cause
Oh,
that was
yeah.
a dope one.
Well, and
Shout
you're
out to
known
James
for
that one.
most of your Tupac mixes and mashup. What made you say? Because I think the dopest thing that you do is not even just the DJing side of it, the visual side of it. So
Your visuals was crazy.
to me, it's like I didn't know you were doing so many visuals with that stuff too. That is some stuff is footage I haven't seen before.
Mm-hmm. So like Tupac, like it's very hard with YouTube. There's a lot of copyrights. So you'll get visual copyrights, you'll get audio copyrights. A lot of visual copyrights will block the video, right? So back then, like I was just looking for unreleased footage or like interview footage and stuff like that, so I can avoid copyrights. And that's all it was, And actually, when I started my first YouTube channel, I got the idea of putting my remixes with like Call of Duty trailers and NBA 2K trailers and stuff, and that's how my videos started blowing up too as well. It was just a marketing strategy.
Yeah, that's dope too.
Yeah.
That's dope.
But that spreads like wildfire too. When you hit that 2K circuit or that Madden, that Call of Duty.
Plus, they want to hear that. They want to hear that
Everybody
type of
hears.
music while they're playing. So
Exactly.
It just makes
You know what I'm saying? While you scoping somebody, you know what I'm saying? You on a rooftop. I need to hear some pop. You know what I'm saying?
So, talk to the people about your latest adventure, so to speak, by way of rap verse, and expound upon that.
Yeah, sure.
Which,
So
yeah, go ahead.
I've always been a part of like a website, whether it's forum or just a news site. I've always liked the idea of always having a platform that can spread knowledge and information and interviews to the younger generation.
Salute.
And by way of my music, I've always done hip hop remixes for fun, right? And it was just random chance that my songs blew up. And maybe it's because my songs were good and I always have an ear to have everything correct. And like, there's a lot of DJs that can put vocals on a beat and it don't match, right? The lyrics don't match the beat, or the speeds don't match, or they have the verses going over the hook section or the hook going over the verse sections of the beat. Me, I'm very meticulous about the songs that I do. I always want to have it be the most respectful way for the artist. So if I'm doing a Tupac song, every now and then I might do like some fantasy remix, right? Like over a modern beat. But I always, if you listen to my songs, they either got like a 90s sample, an 80s sample, or they're just very old school oriented, right?
I wrote here to the one, the latest one you had up with Sade in the back.
That's what us 80 babies appreciate is that the 90s cats rocking over them 80s and 90s beats, man, like remixing it, because we didn't get a lot of that back in the day. So getting it now from you, man, that's what we asked for.
Absolutely.
Plus the blends are unique too.
Exactly. Perfect blends.
I think the one that you have that has the most views, which is let's be clear, 228 million views. Is a mashup with Method Man, Tupac, Ice Cube, and Freddie Gibbs.
Yes, Gibbs.
And that's not even the full version. That's not even the full version because YouTube blocked the Tupac verses on there.
Wow, man, because I was gonna ask you, like,
so that's why it skips.
Wow.
Okay.
Choosing the verses that you chose from all those guys, and to me they fit perfectly. Like if I was A&R and I'm in the studio with them dudes, those would be the verses I would want them to drop on that, you know what I'm saying, on the beat that you did. But like, what made you choose those specific verses for that? Because I thought it was hot.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you heard the original. The original had Tupac Still Ballin' verses on there as well.
Yeah, Still Ballin' joint.
Yeah. So it was actually a longer track, and it amassed like 100 million views before they pulled the verses. So that's why I kind of slowed down. But whenever I listen to a song, like I'm to the point where I can hear a beat and I can just imagine a song over it, like vocals from like Biggie's Juicy or something, right? I just imagine the rapper already on the beat. So that's how I get the idea of what to put with the beat. And then I try to look at what type of beat it is. Is it a gritty beat? Is it like a soft joint? Is it like an R&B style hip hop beat? And then I try to like focus on the lyrics. Like if I want a like aggressive type verse, like Hit 'Em Up, or like a soft one like How Do You Want It or something, right? So it just comes to me naturally. The hardest part is coming up with the custom hooks, because my songs I always chop up vocals
That's
for
the
different
crazy thing,
custom
too.
hooks. So
That's
what
DJing though.
Yeah, so what
That
built
is.
for this, like I just wanted the hardest Ice Cube verse there was, and it unfortunately the only version of that is the censored version.
Right,
But
right.
if I could have had the explicit version, it would have been in there.
Mm-hmm.
And with Eazy-E, there was only like so many vocals that are actually leaked out of that are leaked out to the internet, right?
Yeah.
So like with 10 years ago, you could actually still have software that removes the actual instrumental from the vocals, right?
Yeah.
But it will still sound robotic. So to some of my older mixes, you can still, the quality is probably piss poor, right? But now as things have progressed, you can actually put the whole song into like a website and they'll extract the beat for you, and it sounds crystal clear. So, but back in 2017 when I made that, I didn't have access to all these Eazy-E acapellas like I do now. So I just picked that one because it was the best one that I had. And it just so happened that everything worked out and it sounded good.
Classic one too.
So what's the ultimate mix that, or at least one of the mixes that you've been just itching to, meld together, but just haven't done that? Yeah. Okay. Or even if it's not just one, like what's one of the?
Well, I do have a Dead Presidents remix with Big L and Nas coming.
Oh, stop it.
And I finally just got access to like 30 to 40 Big L vocals, which I've been dying for the last 15 years. That's the only reason I haven't been pumping out Big L, Big Pun, because they don't have a lot of vocals.
No, they don't.
Man.
Yeah.
Man, you know what's crazy?
We can't wait for those.
We just had Al Scratch on too. I would love to hear Al Scratch bars on there with Dead Prez too. Shout out to Al though.
Yeah, peace to Al.
Have you thought about actually making a actual album with that and just putting it on Spotify or having it on your website to download? Because a lot of cats want to just.
The problem
I want to hear that. I want to hear that stuff in the whip, like all the way through. Just something like, hey, this is. I want to hear just a beat pack of just Big Pun, a Big L, man, from DJ Scandalous.
I'd be fine with that. Exactly.
Yeah.
The problem is with remixing. You got to get the vocals cleared, and a lot of labels don't want the vocals cleared. So you could put it up on YouTube and they'll just collect the money from your video. But if you put it up on Spotify, that's where you have a problem. So I can't really release these remixes on Spotify. However, I do have an album out. It has Rascass on it. It has Yuck Mouth on it. It has
Shout out to
Eye on it. Yep. So I got a lot of legends on my latest album, and I'm gonna be working with Corrupt and Young Buck and shit on my next album.
Nice.
You just answered my next question. Man. I was just going to ask you, like, what artists are you kind of working with? Because I know they hearing what we hearing. They're like, man, I got to get with this dude.
And a good DJ is hard to find nowadays.
A good DJ is super hard to find.
Anybody from the old school, like I wish I had access to LL's vocals, Ice-T, everybody. I want to give them another platform to be exposed to the newer generation, because the new generation probably does listen to Tupac and stuff, but it's not as much as what it used to be, right? Because they're so focused on the young rappers like Young Boy and stuff. So my platforms, what I created with Rapverse too, even though Rapverse is some new school, there's going to be old school on there as well. So I create these platforms to showcase the older generation to the new cats, really. Yeah.
So two-part question.
Sure.
Top 5 DJs, top 5 artists.
That's rough.
And if you can't come up with 5, we'll settle for like 3 or something.
Mount Rushmore type stuff.
Yeah,
I'm cool. I mean, Mount Rushmore. Yeah, if you got like a three or four piece.
With DJs, do you mean like producers as well, or no?
Either or.
Either or.
Yeah.
Either or.
Okay, I would go. Well, you got to give it up to Dr. Dre, right? So
you do. Yep.
Even though technically some people say that he takes credit for a lot of their production.
He still started off as a DJ, though.
Yeah, he started as a DJ. Yeah.
He did.
Oh, so you're doing DJs and not producers, or just both?
Like I said,
it can be either or.
It
can be a mix, or if you want to go all producers, go all producers.
Okay, I'll go all producers.
Okay.
I'll go Dr. Dre, Premier, right?
Okay.
And then I don't know if I want to put Daz Dillinger at 3. Like he has some great tracks.
Daz got some tracks though.
He got some,
and he was a youngin' when he made them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got some smoke.
And then you probably got to put Timberland up there.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't want to say Irv Gotti, but he did like a lot of classic tracks with Ja Rule and DMX.
He did that "Can I Live" with Jay.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I'm saying? Me and my dude Jay was just talking about that this week.
Let it be known, when a lot of people say like their GOAT list, I think they say like their favorites, right? So for me, I separate my favorites list from my GOAT list, because my GOAT list has accolades, right? And my favorite list just has what I like. So like a lot of people will get flamed. Like there's a lot of people that don't have Tupac and Biggie on their GOAT list, right, or their favorites list, and a whole bunch of articles go out there, and I don't think that's really fair, because it comes down to how that music impacts you, and where you're at in your life. That you may like a different artist that's not on somebody's top 10 list. That's one of your favorite rappers. Like I have Lloyd Banks in my top probably like 6 or 7, favorite rappers, and he's not in nobody's top 10.
I tell you what, Lloyd wasn't in my top anything when he first came out, but these last records that he's been putting out lately,
they've been dope. I mean,
my God, like he
like
just has another
another
rhythm in him, man. It's going.
He got another bag.
Man.
That's what happens when we are used to hearing a dude in a certain sound. Like G Unit had certain producers in a certain sound. Like 50 sound dominated all those artists. But when they step out of that, like he did, you start to hear a different level. Like they hit a different gear, and it's like that's why we always talk about how the producer blesses dope artists. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm not mad at all at that Lloyd Banks pick.
So go back to the question of my favorite rappers of all time. Obviously, would be Tupac. It would be Biggie. Well, actually, let's do my GOAT list. It'll be Tupac, Eminem, Biggie, Nas, Jay-Z. It's top 5.
Okay.
And then from there you can put Rakim and Big Daddy Kane in that, But my favorite list is a little bit different. It's Tupac, DMX, Big Pun, and then I probably have like Lloyd Banks in there, 50 Cent and stuff like that. Yeah.
Nice,
man. I wish we got more Pun work though.
Yeah,
I know.
You know what I'm saying. Man,
I was hoping that somebody has some crazy, some reels that man they never found or something like that on Pun. I know there's some more music out there they haven't put out, man. In my opinion,
so.
Never know.
Well, the other thing too, Scandalous, is we know you have your myrapverse.com. To me, why do you feel we need some more hip hop journalists and websites that we control? From what's out here right now?
Well, to be honest, I think the record labels are pushing the artists that they want to push, right?
Man.
And
hold on, we gotta give you 10 for a Koofy. Oh, we got music for 10 for pass it down the scale. There you go. All right, you got it today. Go ahead.
There it is.
All right, so tinfoil hat on, right? I think in the 90s, like, we had Fuck the Police, right? I don't know if I can swear on it. Can I swear on it?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Good.
Yeah. So we had Fuck the Police and we had Hit 'Em Up. And back then, like, a lot of people don't realize that, the vice president, Dan Quayle, and everyone else was trying to get records, off the shelf. Like Tupac Lives Now, Tupac's first album was pulled off the shelf. Tupac's second album that he was working on, Troublesome 21 from 92, the whole thing got rejected, right? Thug Life got rejected multiple times, like 5-6 times. That's why we have so many songs from that era. So I feel like back then, like studios didn't want to keep, wasting money and having people in the studio for songs that they're not going to release. So because that costs a lot of money. So I feel like now they concentrate on, owning the artist. So they concentrate on maybe rappers that don't have much talent, rappers that need ghostwriters, rappers that can't freestyle, and they basically are the catalyst of what becomes hot and what doesn't, because they have all these social media platforms, all these brands that push the artists. They have all these connections with Spotify and these record labels. Like I hear Lil Nas X song on radio every day for the last 2 years, the same song.
Right.
So
all over that.
I feel like back in the 90s, they were probably losing a lot of money. And you had, Dan Quayle, you had Dolores Tucker, you got all these politicians that were saying rap music is bad. This is bad for our children. So I feel like the record labels wanted more control. They wanted more hip hop music that's more geared towards advertising, because you can put a song like Hit 'Em Up in like a movie, like a Disney movie or Marvel movie, right? So they wanted to dumb down music. And I think that's how we got the style of rap and hip hop that we have today. It's dumbed down. It's catered toward just like advertising, really.
So isn't it crazy to go from them stomping on CDs outside of Interscope to now you're getting letters from the White House for Megan Thee Stallion saying, "Hey, we love that WAP song that you guys did.
Yeah.
Can you come over here and actually promote some of our products?"
That's because the rappers that were very conscious, they're not pushing out anymore.
Right.
So
like,
shout out to you too.
You don't see a comment anymore.
Yeah. We still have like Freddie Gibbs and shit, but they're not really like mainstream anymore.
Exactly. And shout out to you for name dropping Dan Quayle. A lot of you young kids.
Bob Dole too as well.
We got your Bob Dole to AK.
We're not against rap. Man. We're not against
rappers. Well, we are against those
thugs.
So that's why I really created Rapverse, my Rapverse.com. So eventually we're going to have a website for Hip Hop Dynasty as well for the old school audience as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in addition to that, what else can people look forward to moving forward in DJ Scandalous quest in order to preserve and grow this thing that we call hip hop?
Mm-hmm.
Well, with Rapverse, I want it to be like, I don't know if it's ever going to be as big as Vibe and Source and stuff, but I want it to be there just as a platform to promote underground artists, new artists as well, and give them a hub for that they otherwise might not be getting from like Vlad TV and DJ Academics and shit like that. So that's why I found you guys. I think Iceberg was promoting it in my Facebook group.
Promoting.
I was trolling.
Yeah.
Trolling.
Of course he was.
So I found you guys, and normally I decline stuff that's not like old school artists in that group. But you guys had a great look to your podcast. I think you may have Nas on the cover of that one as well. So that's why I clicked on it. I checked you guys out, and you guys are very formative. You guys have great chemistry. You guys, what most will consider old heads, right? But you guys
get off my grass. We own that. Get off my grass.
You guys are very knowledgeable about new school as well.
Get off my lawn.
I really like that.
Yeah, we ought to get off my line, guys. But hey, man, but we still rock out to everything though, man. We equal opportunity channel.
Yeah.
But we definitely want to make sure that we are paying homage and giving our flowers to the folks that influenced us. You know what I'm saying? Why we do what we do today. So we certainly do appreciate the nod that you gave us, even though Iceberg was in his troll bag. troll your boat.
All good,
Well, this is the thing. This is my last question, man. Like, what is next for? Obviously, we know about myrapverse.com. We know about some of the brands that you have that are just amazing, in my opinion. Like, the thing of it is, what's crazy. I was telling Bebo about you, telling our guys about you. And I was like, man, we never even had a conversation. And we're just just talking business and X, Y, and Z. But then we're also just talking about the love of hip hop and trying to move that the needle forward as far as that's what Bebo does, J Camp does every week, trying to like, hey, here's some new bars of the week. Here's some new guys that are doing some classic stuff. Where's your brand going for 2023? Where do you see it growing and gaining more followers as you build this empire up?
Well, what I want to do, and is what I have done in the past, is I want to interview old school artists, engineers, and producers and stuff, and have that on my website so people can be familiarized with those producers and artists from back in the day as well. So like back around 2010, I interviewed Spice One, so I have a Spice One interview.
Oh man,
Mike Mosley,
legend.
Tupac's manager, Layla Steinberg.
Salute to Spice.
So yeah, so I want to do more of that going into 2023.
When are you doing some with Art, man? I've been watching Art of Dialogue, man, and I'm like, why is Scandalous not on there?
I don't know.
We got to hook that up.
Me and him are cool though, So
yeah, we got to talk to Art. Though.
Shout out to Art Dialogue.
If you're not watching Art of Dialogue, you got to watch him too, man. Crazy Tupac. I'm a Tupac like historian, man. So I'm always watching Art of Dialogue, man. Shout out to him.
Scandalous, do you have any final words or last words that you would like to communicate or would like for the people to know about you or the cause, which is obviously hip hop and the preservation of it and the growth of it as well, or just any final thoughts, period.
Well, sure.
Just capping this thing off.
A real personal like event that happened in my life was back in '94. My sister passed away, right?
Oh man,
So
condolences, condolences, man.
she was only 8 years old. She died in a car accident, and I was 6. And it took me many years to really understand what death was because I didn't know. Like I thought she would come back. She was my best friend. So over the course of years, like 5 years after that, around 99, 2000, I started acting out. I was a hellraiser, you know, getting in a lot of fights at school. And it was hip hop, you know, that's really put me on the right path. It was Tupac's like Baby Don't Cry, Unconditional Love, those type of tracks that really helped me gain an understanding and have a something to look forward to and know that, you know, a brighter day can come out of the dark. So that's why I've always loved hip hop, and I've always loved Tupac's music, and I always try to put Tupac out there because I know how much it can help people. And actually, there's some other stories that happened with my remixes online. Like I released the track "If I Die Young," which had "Life Goes On" vocals on it.
Yeah.
And years later, I think I uploaded that in 2013. It has like probably 15 to 20 million views, right? So around 2018, there was this girl from Australia. She was 9 years old, right? And she commented on that video, and she says that this song gave her hope to carry on, right? And my mind was just blown because it was 9-year-old, right? And I didn't know young kids listen to my music like that.
Man.
And then, you know, I luck of the draw, I found her comment because I get so many comments on my YouTube channel. I found her comment and I started talking to her, and she said she's being bullied in school because her brother passed away, and they felt like she was the cause of it because he drowned, and she really wasn't. And she found my song, and it gave her hope, and you know, it gave her inspiration to carry on because she didn't know what she was going to do with her life. And after, you know, I started talking to her, and I told her I talked to her about hip hop and Tupac and how things can change. You know, you can get away from those people later on in life. You know, a lot of people take their life and don't realize, you know, later on in life, you probably won't ever see those guys again. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, a year later, a year goes by, and she actually, you know, she said that it was my music that helped her get through that. And now she's a very popular kid in school. And she loves life, you know. So that was one of the most beautiful things I ever read, and that's one of the real reasons why I make Tupac remixes, Biggie remixes, old school remixes, songs with a story, songs that can inspire you to do something good. Even though Tupac and Biggie made a lot of bad music, you know, a lot of gangster music, they still have some very good songs that can help people.
Right. Yep. And this is why hip hop is beautiful, man. Like you just said. I mean, hip hop has touched every single one of us the same exact way, just like that little girl. I mean, just like you. It may not have been the same exact way, but the fact is it touches. I mean, there's a reason why athletes listen to hip hop before they have to go out there and compete, man. You know what I'm saying? So hip hop influences all in many different ways, man. We just
it's the rose out the concrete. You know what I'm saying?
It really is, man. And we just want to give you a full-hearted salute, man. Just to continue doing that, continue putting that out there, because you seen something in hip hop sees something in you. That's why you spreading out to the world, man. So we salute you for that 100%.
Well, this is the thing. Unless you gotta go, we got 4 topics. I don't know if you want to stay for a little bit.
Yeah, I can stay for something.
Okay. So this thing. So long story short, first of all, don't get fired, nobody. You know what I'm saying? We gotta talk about Kanye.
Oh, man, I gotta hear Power.
Kanye, man, don't get fired, nobody.
I need to hear Power 600's thoughts. Once
like I said, man, we want everybody to kind of chime in on these joints, man. You know what I'm saying? Like we saw what happened with Ye. If you didn't see the actual interview, it's still on the internet. Now we know it got deleted. We're gonna talk about NORE here in a minute, but what's you guys' thoughts on just what Ye was saying that you can say on YouTube, basically? You know what I'm saying? Because he said a lot, but was it a lot of cap? Was it real? What's your thought? And Scandalous, you start this one off, man. What was your thoughts on this interview?
I actually didn't get the chance to check out the full interview, so I'll let you guys go, and then I'll.
Okay. J.K., what was your thoughts on it on this one?
Oh man,
so much, ain't it?
Yeah, I gotta be careful too with my choice of words and the essence of getting canceled and all that stuff. But you know, some of the stuff was definitely the truth. You know what I'm saying? Some things he was saying we probably didn't want to hear or we needed to hear. But there was a lot of stuff in there that I felt that needed to be fact checked though too. There was some things that he was saying. I was like, come on, man. Like, where's the the Fox News CNN fact check guy, man? When the stuff that he's just throwing out of here, throwing it at the wall, and hope it sticks. Now, what I don't like is the fact that they trying to cancel this dude. Like, that's what I don't like, because I am a firm believer in freedom of speech, as long as you ain't talking about killing nobody and, you know what I'm saying, messing with somebody's family. Like, I'm a firm believer in freedom of speech, and I don't think you should shut a guy up for voicing his right. That's his opinion, that's his thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Some of the stuff was a little seedy, you know what I'm saying? We could definitely fact check him on it, but hey, I mean, if you're gonna allow a dude like this on your platform, you have to know, you know what I'm saying, what's coming. And to me, this is a bad look for NORE. It's a bad look for you know, for Diddy and that camp that, you know what I'm saying? To me, it felt set up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like they was setting this dude up for this. You know what I'm saying? To further try to expose him to be canceled. Now,
well, this thing, Tyler saying Steve Rifkin, which is one of our Jewish brothers, was on the episode allegedly too. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I was just about to get into that, and that's also what's a little strange to me. You know what I'm saying? So when you add that into a lot of the stuff that he was saying, and you combine that with the other real issues that he has, which we've talked about in our group chat, you know what I'm saying, with Chase and some of these other folks that really do matter, like that's different. You know what I'm saying? Like to Power's point, like I was not feeling the whole George. I don't like speaking on like people who ain't here. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, that's out of bounds. You speaking on George Floyd, regardless of how you feel about it. I don't feel those things should be touched on, because you talking about somebody who's gone. You know what I'm saying? And his family was impacted by that. Obviously, now they trying to sue. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what you feel, what side of the aisle you on, how you feel about the whole George Floyd situation, I feel like those type of things are out of bounds. To me, that's like talking about somebody's
well, and this is the thing. Before you go in, Bebo, Scandalous, do you think all this hurts his legacy?
Kanye's?
Yeah, I'm talking about just not even this interview, just what he's been doing recently over the last couple of months.
See, the thing with this interview, though, I think like how you guys said, I think it was a setup, because you already seen Kanye going off the wall on Instagram, Facebook. He was already suspended on that, you know. So they already knew that the type of person he was and the type of stuff he was putting out there. So for NORE to want to do this interview, I don't know if it was clout chasing or they had an ulterior motive or not, but something was going on, I think.
Bebo, what's your thoughts on this, man? And don't get fired.
Well,
now hold on. Queen Anna saying Kanye was right. He was in the process of acquiring social media Parlay, which is owned by Candace Owens' husband.
Yeah, George.
That's the part
saying that's a good move. I think it's a good move. What's your thoughts, though, Bebo? On everything, Bebo. Just on the even on the interview.
Well, there's so much once again, but you know, I won't lay out the grand specifics of Ye's interview on Drink Champs. I mean, I will say that at the same time, James Silver. Okay, at the same time, this is going to go down as arguably interview of the year. I mean, hands down.
Oh, easily.
Or at least the interview that sparked the series of guest appearances that he's been making from Drink Champs to
so NORE gets that feather in his cap.
Well, at least that, you know, Ye's been making his rounds. He was on whatever Cuomo's new thing is to Karen, Pierce Morgan as of late.
Stop.
So he was just on Pierce. He was just on Pierce, you know what I'm saying?
You slid there right on in there.
I mean, hey. And we know that there's likely going to be more interviews, but I mean, the Drink Champs interview was just so jam-packed full of controversial statements with the group that we all know Ye's been speaking on, the pain that's been going on in the Black community, George Floyd, you know, removal, and how he believed that took place, the Kardashian clan, and so many other mentions that's too many to count. But one thing I'll say, one thing is for sure, with the topics that he mentioned, that he's in hot water for, he certainly got people talking about things that were really once kind of forbidden to public.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So if anything, it did kind of open up that, like, Ye basically being the mega superstar that he is, saying the things that he said, whether you agree with them or not, it created this vacuum that I think has a lot of elite and status quo people saying, "Oh shoot, this what we
well."
Hope.
Before you go in,
right.
Jay, Scandalous, do you think what's the end game? Where do you see this end up? Where do you see this top spinning and ending for Ye? Can he come out with any more music? Is the music done? What is it?
That comes up to the record label. If the record label is pushed by other, entities, maybe they might not allow his music to come out. So, but the Parler thing is kind of interesting, because back when the whole thing with Trump, they pulled that from the Android store, the Google Play store, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So they have a lot of pull there.
Okay, keep going. You got the Koofy on. Keep going.
So Apple and Google have a lot of play there with allowing another app to blow up and be successful, really. So
don't you think they could block it from even being on your phone?
Yep, they already did that when the whole Trump thing happened.
Yep.
Jay, what's your final thoughts on this one?
Nah, I mean, we check out Carcino every time, and shout out to Carcino.
Shout out Carcino.
We listened to some of his feedback on it. He said one thing that really kind of touched me, and I kind of agree with that, where I feel like the biggest mistake that Ye did make, and I think he might have to answer for that, was the same people he was going at, he didn't mind taking their money. That, like, those same people have always controlled the music business. All that. He didn't mind taking that cheese, the bread. But now you want to clap back.
Way was right?
Yeah.
That's Way was right.
Well, Queen is saying whenever you build a platform on racism, stockholder, you will always be a slave. Go to other free speech spaces such as Rumble.
100%.
100. You know what I'm saying?
You will, but it's tough when Google owns the search engine.
True.
Exactly. So all I'm saying is be careful what you ask for, and be careful what you take from people.
Right.
Because again, you took the hand out, my brother. When the hand was you bit the hand. So again, I'm not saying that he's wrong in what he said as far as dropping some content there, some context. But again, when somebody kind of calls you to the carpet on that, like, well, where was you at back when you was trying to get into the game?
When you were getting money, it was all good. Now that you're a billionaire, you
exactly.
feel like you can reach out, you can say certain things because you have money, but then it's affecting people who still have to make money off this quote unquote ecosystem that we have.
Exactly.
So what's your final thoughts on this, Bebo?
I think that there's more people talking about it, at least from my observation, that there's a lot more people on Ye's side about the foundational aspect of what he's getting at. Not every single thing, of course, but again, in a moment where you have Sus Diddy trying to get back out there, and
100%.
a lot of all these
hand Bebo the Koofy.
Man,
hold on, man. Bebo, go ahead, hit the Koofy, Bebo.
I mean,
hold on,
no, it's just a moment where, okay.
Hit that Koofy, man. Go ahead.
No, I think I mentioned this before, but the foundation of the status quo is really starting to expand that Liberty Bell crack. In a lot of areas.
100%.
In the relationship sector, you've had Kevin Samuels just blow the doors wide open. In the political sector, whether you whatever side you look at it, you've had presidents 44 and 45 just kind of expose or rather just blow the doors open on some things. So in this situation, again, where you've had something that was quote unquote forbidden to talk about, Queen Anna, don't do that. No. And this all started with mom and the medication he was on, the suicide. Well, the thing is, he seems coherent in his interviews that you see now. Whether or not he is, that's to be determined by, the man upstairs and Ye himself. But really, we're just hoping for the best outcome all across the board with this whole situation, because
this isn't over. I think Kanye is on a tour, on a media tour. You might see him on My Rap Verse, man, getting interviewed by Scandalous. He's just ready to let it all go, man. He is frozen, man. He wants to let it go. He can come on
FRSHOUT too.
Iceberg and J Camp. Y'all said y'all gonna hear a Ye mix from Scandalous.
Yeah, you might hear a Ye mix on Scandalous. Shout out to Karma. Let me let the AK off.
Right. It was all good just a week ago.
Yeah.
It was all good just a week ago. It was just all good just a week ago. Real talk.
It was.
So, but again, we got to talk about. We can't talk about this Ye interview that got first of all, it didn't get deleted. It got privated. So they wanted them numbers first. But also, we got to talk about my man Noriega with the big teeth, holding it down with the saber tooth teeth. We got to talk about Nori and that apology that he did that was super cringy. That Pete Rosenberg almost made him almost like sunned him. Almost, it was almost like
Buck broke him.
He butt broke him a little bit, man. What's your thoughts on this, Scandalous? Did you see the back and forth with Rosenberg and Nori? And then also, do you think Nori had to apologize for an interview on his platform that's his guest was talking the rhetoric that he was, not Nori?
But who really owns the platform? Is it him or is it Diddy?
I gotta pull out the 10-4 Koofy for you, man. Come on, man.
That's all I gotta say.
Man.
I'm giving this thing back. I'm giving this thing right back.
Scandalous is he's on the Koofy.
So
that's all I gotta say.
This is the thing, Scandalous. Do you think that Diddy knew he was interviewing? Yeah.
I don't really know. Like maybe it was just random, after all the stuff that was going on with Kanye and his Twitter account, his Facebook and everything. Maybe they just wanted him on there to get views and shit. Really? So
I think he definitely knew, and the reason why I say that because wasn't Diddy just on the Breakfast Club or whatever show he was on?
It was a Breakfast Club.
He was going in on Ye.
Yeah, he was going in.
So I know he knew. You know what I'm saying? That's he owns part of that platform, or he might have 1%, 2%. But either way, his hand
people think Diddy don't even own Revolt now. I mean, it could be, but at the end of the day, I think pretty much is the victim thing. Let's have Kanye come on, get the views. They go, oh my gosh, Kanye said something crazy, delete it, and now
that's what
Nori,
they all doing.
You gotta take that sword in the back, man.
He gotta
that's
own
what
that.
it was. But what do you
Nori
think,
knew? And what did Nori say at the beginning of the show when it first dropped? He said the last time this guy was on, our views was through the roof. They was crazy.
That's all it is, attention.
He set the stage. He set the stage for that. Big cap on Nori's part, man. I mean,
well, another thing too.
Fan,
remember, he came out with a picture on IG with him and DJ whatever the other DJs do name it. They had a picture already before it came out, so they knew this was going to drop on YouTube.
Yeah, they already
and they put it on their website too. Let's be clear, they put it on the Revolt website.
Yep.
So it wasn't like just a random upload and you need to take it down. Bebo, what's your thoughts on this? Do you think Nori had to apologize and it was almost like they sunned him, a little bit too?
Oh, they definitely sunned him. They definitely sunned him, and they buck broke him on that. And let me also say this: the moment that Nori accepted Ye to come back on Drink Champs for that third time, and obviously after the latest controversy of Ye's situation that's been going on as of late, I think Nori's only options was one, to take the interview down and have no choice but to apologize to the public, because Ye's gonna say what Ye's gonna say. Or two, keep the interview up on YouTube and run the chances of getting reprimanded by way of getting both the show and himself canceled by way of getting that call.
And I can't see him.
You know what I'm saying? Why? Because
taking the bread loss.
No, he ain't. And we all know why.
Like I said, understanding that your advertisers is going to be out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Exactly.
Advertisers, your sponsors. I mean, all that. And we again.
The crazy thing is, didn't Ye kind of call that out on the?
I mean, it's crazy because regardless of what you think about Ye, this whole situation in a foundational and large scope proved his sentiments right about how things are, at least from an operation standpoint, and how things get down, because it's taking place as we speak. So
operationally, good point.
Well, this thing, Scandalous, let me ask you this: with you owning platforms and websites and brands, and we just talked about this, how back in the day, hip hop was just an art form. It wasn't so corporate. Do you think the brand has gotten so corporate now that you can't even talk about what's real? Because hip hop is about what's going on in the streets, what's going on with the real deal. That's the only place you had a space for to talk about what was going on. Is it too corporate now?
I think it is, because like NORE probably doesn't even own the YouTube channel, so he probably just got a call saying remove that, and he has to listen. Or otherwise, YouTube can give him a copyright strike or a community guideline strike for anything that Kanye said in that interview.
And then that's losing money off the whole YouTube channel,
off the whole shebang. Yep.
Look,
because I want to say that they're on the Revolt YouTube channel, not a Drink Champs channel.
Right.
Exactly. But that channel can also get a guideline strike from YouTube as well for anything Kanye said.
Hey, it was probably I wouldn't be surprised if it was Sus who gave the call to NORE, because Sus Diddy got that call from who Ye might have been talking about.
Anytime somebody calls out Diddy, something bad happened to him. Look at the Mace and Cam and Jada tour.
Right.
Mace said something about Diddy, and next thing you know, the tour is canceled.
You're out of here, buddy.
Call.
You're out of here.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, we'll just have to keep our eye on the pulse of this, or our hand on the pulse of the situation, because this isn't going down anytime soon. What'd you say? It's definitely beaten. Oh yeah,
beaten.
But and speaking of that, let's continue to hope that situation keeps beating too.
Well, the other thing too, do you think NORE had to get in that hot tub with Sus Diddy to apologize?
You're laughing, Scandalous, as if you know what was being talked about.
Man,
they're playing that "We're Coming Out" song, weren't they? By Mace.
The Koofy is back again. Listen,
and this thing, shout out to NORE, man. We're not knocking NORE at all. Salute to NORE, man. I know you're just doing what you had to do. They say you got to carry that water for us, man, because you got to be the one that we got to make it seem like you're the one who greenlit everything, and we were unaware that you just put some on our website and on our YouTube channel. That
and you know what?
That's Scandalous said.
It's funny you say that, because NORE did hit Ye up that morning before going on that apology tour, and Ye shortly after that apology tour did come out and essentially was like understanding of NORE's situation, which that's his that's his viewpoint, and obviously he's close to NORE, because NORE named Ye named one of his kids after NORE, so that's not a situation that's going to be easy.
Well, and Pyre's saying Pyre's good. I gotta put the 10-4 Koofy on for Pyre. He's saying you don't make music for the streets, you make it for black women. Ebro responding to Kodak after being mad at BT.
Hey, that's for you, pal.
It's for you, Power.
Everybody putting the Koofy on the night.
Man,
so again, as far as creators, man, like, and I'm gonna end it with this: how do you protect yourself from these things, man? Do you think NORE should have went with Revolt? Should he kept it to himself to get his own revenue? Like, how do you protect yourself from where you can have some free speech somewhat on these platforms?
I mean, he might have to go Spotify. Spotify would have let that roll.
I don't know, man. I mean, when you got JP Morgan,
bro, we've seen Joe Rogan say some crazy stuff.
But they try to cancel him countless times.
Yeah, but I think it's very hard. I think it's like, at the end of the day, everybody's emboldened to somebody, even if you're an entrepreneur, because if you're an entrepreneur, you're emboldened to your customers, right? If you're
depends on how tight the leash is.
Yes. So unless you actually are control of an actual industry, that's the only way that you're really going to be able to fully gain the leverage that it is that you're seeking that, or maybe if there's some type of legislation that's passed, but chances of that's happening is very much a round figure.
Slim and zero.
Right.
Well, and this is the thing too, you know, we talk about the golden era hip hop, and the thing that we can always say about hip hop is we don't own it. Whether you're brown, black, whoever,
don't matter.
We don't own it. Why do you feel like some of these artists haven't learned from Pac? When Pac died, man, he died with $40,000 in a Jaguar and a condo. Come on, man. Like, why are we not learning to run our platforms? This is why we're having Scandalous on tonight. You're running platforms for us. You know what I'm saying? Right. Why are we not done it? Like, I can't blame another culture if we haven't learned to say, hey, man, let's start certain things ourselves. You don't have to go through those channels anymore. You know what I'm saying? You can go straight direct to the dude. And shout out to our guy Vic Spencer. He's doing that right now.
Yep.
You know the reason Iceberg is short is because a lot of people know about ownership, and it sounds good to talk about and chant on, but it's more comfortable to remain complacent within your current circumstance. And at the end of the day, that's what it really comes down to, even though a lot of people won't admit it.
Just like you said, Bebo, it's that long game that people don't want to play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They see the bag, which I get it. I fully get it.
It's the same reason why YouTubers stay on YouTube, but they don't go for a platform like Rumble, which gives you more freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Because they'll lose the bag.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You lose it.
Exactly. You lose it.
Speaking of losing the bag.
Whoa.
We got to talk about my man Nas with the little Hansel and Gretel little toppings, you know what I'm saying?
Stop. That's L would say.
With that
Marlon Wayans.
Yeah, with that Marlon Wayans, with that little tarantula top, you know what I'm saying?
Big stop.
Man.
First of all, this is a key example of what we're talking about.
Yes.
And shout out to Serch, man. You know, Serch got a lot of stories about MC Hammer even putting a hit out on third base. Let's be clear. So he knows what's going on. But MC Serch, if you don't know him, man, he actually brokered the deal with Nas. Actually was executive producer for Illmatic, and it was written. So let's be clear. He's not from our culture, but salute to Serch. You know what I'm saying? So again, you can't just always blame, say, oh man, this coach is running stuff, but when they help you get a bag, and then you don't learn from how they did it. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
So again, he's selling off some of Nas's publishing, and he's owned it for 25, 27 years. But the crazy thing, my question is to you guys is, why hasn't Serch hollered at Nas and sold it to him?
I don't know if we, the thing is, we just don't know if he has.
No, in the press release, it said that he's already talked to certain firms already about purchasing the catalog. So he already hasn't talked to Nas.
Well,
that's what I was about to say.
From the article, from what he said.
This still is a very difficult one to gauge, just because it's still vague in some areas. I would say that most times you see something like this happen, it's kind of a leverage in order to get somebody that's currently bidding to take more action, so to speak. I'm not saying that that's the case here, but I will say this, Iceberg. I like the fact that you prefaced the fact that Serch brokered the Nas's first record deal. You know what I'm saying? Because that was very instrumental, and it goes to the example of what Ye is talking about, essentially how things should go. And Serch even said this too at least from what I saw on Vlad 3 years ago. So again, salute to Serch, because he said he didn't want it to be a situation that Ye's talking about today. And I'm just paraphrasing, but essentially, that's, Serch was the example for, when Nas was coming to Serch for help. But that's what I got for it.
I know I pay guys Searchlight Publishing. Shout out to Jigga, man.
Shout out to Jig.
Shout
out to James for them bars.
It could, but long story short, it could be a leverage situation for somebody that's currently he's currently in negotiations with or so forth. But all we could do is speculate at this point.
So this thing, if he's announced that and this is for Scandalous, if he's announced that he's selling it, why hasn't Sus Diddy, why hasn't any real people from our culture, Fat Joe, whoever, go and say, yo, we need that? How much is it? Let's put our bread together and go get
Right.
that. We know
Like,
that's
that's
gonna bring in
Nas.
bread
We
for
need that.
forever.
Because people only care about themselves, really. That's what I think. There's this like the last 5-6 years, there's been companies that have been buying out all these old school artists' catalogs left and right.
Yeah.
Blackstone.
Right.
We talked about that.
Hypnosis songs.
Yeah.
Yep. Well,
Absolutely.
I would like
that was kind of my thing too. Now I was just gonna say, like, the fact that, like what Scandalous said, all these companies been buying your favorite artist, your favorite rappers.
But my thing is, why ain't Diddy doing that, right? He has the money.
Exactly. And to Iceberg's point, why isn't Diddy doing it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know Master P had copped some
whole about the remaster that takeover. Yeah. You know,
he's copped some catalogs, man. But we definitely got to keep that within our culture, because we know.
Well, and we know that that's what Michael Jackson used to do. Michael Jackson would make a beat with you and make a song with you and be like, "Yo, what's up with your publishing though?" You know what I'm saying? Like, you trying to sell it?
You talk about Paul McCartney.
Yeah, exactly. Right. He like, "Yo, you selling that publishing?"
That.
But they said, like, even like Dark Child, when Dark Child made some beats with him or some records with him, he was like, "Hey, Dark Child, yo, what's up? You want to sell that publishing? What's up with your publishing?" So he would be going in leverage. And remember, let's be clear, Michael took them Eminem joints too. You talked about him on the record, but now every time you perform, I'm getting paid. Yep. So and I got to put the kufi on, because maybe that's why Mike ain't here.
Get it from.
Yeah, definitely.
Let me do the violin, the minstrel violin.
So, J. Kim, what's your thoughts on this, man? Like, number one, salute for Serch for being, putting it out there, no doubt. Yeah. We're not knocking Serch at all.
Not at all.
But what's your thoughts on Nas not maybe trying to retrieve it? And like I said, Bebo said, we don't know, but if I'm Nas, I'm making it public. Like LeBron just said last night, we ain't got no shooters. We need to get some shooters. Why ain't Nas saying, hey, I want them. I ain't sat down with him, or he ain't to my call?
Which I'm actually surprised by that, because Nas is a 9-figure dude too. It's not like Nas don't have the bag to grab his own
shout out
stuff.
To the Ring cameras, you know what I'm saying? Shout out
his
to the Ring
stuff, unless he doesn't feel like it's valuable, which I think he's crazy. But maybe Nas is just like,
all the old school hits come back in style every now and then.
Oh yeah,
obviously these companies know something we don't know, man. If they're not worth anything, why they buying them?
Exactly, because we know Illmatic is timeless. So
I don't think that. Again, we just don't know what all is going on behind the scenes, especially.
And maybe Nas is in the background somewhere trying to get that back. Yeah, happy birthday to Tug.
Happy 50th,
man, all day.
Man, from the fact that MC Serch only took a 5% admin fee just for helping to broker that deal back in the day, I would like to think that, fast forwarding to today, even though he owns and is trying to sell the first 2 albums of Nas, that there's still that same level of moral code, if not more, if not a heightened sense of it. And maybe we just don't know the ins and outs of what's really going on behind the scenes. But I know I saw, and shout out to our brothers on According to Hip Hop, because one of them said something that was
shout out to Mike and Coop.
Mike and Coop. Yep. One of them said something that was a great reminder. There's like a copyright law, I think it's 1976, to where somebody can only own your rights or publishing for like 30 or 35 years. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. So you know about that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So we're not saying that that's the case, but I'm just using that as a framework from, again, Mike and Coop, and reminding me about that, to say that, we just, maybe it's something on the legal end, maybe it's something on the end of Serch saying, hey, we have to play it like this for X, Y, and Z reason, but we'll make sure that certain vultures don't get access to it that you don't want to have. But maybe we just need to play it a certain way. I'm not sure what that looks like, but I'm just throwing that out there as a general.
I just like to see cats hold on to their stuff, man, for their kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Nas's daughter can hold on to that.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like what Scandalous said, at the end of the day, you want it because those songs come back in style. Like, to me, I've been banging that Mace joint ever since Mace been coming out. I've been banging that Mace. You know what I'm saying?
And your kids can eat off that though. Yeah. That's the thing that kills me too.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Well, and this is the thing. Maybe Nas don't care because he about to drop another album. He don't care.
No.
Hey man, it just was announced that KD3. We actually talked about this in April that he was dropping KD3.
Yep.
I think this is going to be I think it's going to be bigger than Magic. And let's be clear, this is on mass appeal, his own situation. He's getting all the bread himself. Hit Boy is just like amazing. I don't know what Scandalous said about Hit Boy, but
Hit Boy blessing.
Hit Boy is
out. Yeah. He basically went to the dojo and got them drums. You know what I'm saying? That Magic was just insane. This whole trilogy has been insane. But my question to y'all is
best Christmas present we had.
Yes.
Last year. Come on, man. Yeah. Especially after COVID and all
2021, a December joint. Man, phenomenal gift.
Will this be the best album of the year?
Scandalous. Where you at with this one?
Scandalous, we starting with you.
Do we need to pass the Kubi first?
Right now, man.
No, you don't got to pass it. I think it will be, but will it be the most successful? I don't know. Because Nas is still an old school artist compared to.
Well, also he's not in the Matrix. The industry can't make money off him, right? So remember, the Magic was crazy, but it didn't even hit #1 because they weren't pushing it, right? So I agree. J. Ken, what you thinking? Best album or no? Not even close. Queen saying is hold on. Queen saying is number one. Hold on. Rebirth the Socks in the building. I gotta shout out to our guys. Sock in the building, best album. Whoa. He said, whoa, that would mean it has to be a classic, right?
I mean, I think it has potential to be a classic. Best album, man. We've had some great albums this year. It's so hard for me to say that right
Black
now.
Star, you know let's be clear. The Freddie Gibbs was crazy, albums. Like Scandalous said earlier.
The Black Thought was crazy. The Gibbs was crazy. Like that Tana Talk 4 was dumb. We had some great albums this year. And Buster's supposed to drop too. I can't say that. And shout out to James too, because you're right, bro. Nas's daughter was that exact producer.
Exactly.
So shout out to you for that. Absolutely. I think it's gonna be a great album though. I mean, if it becomes the best, salute to him. But hey,
I think Hit Boy saving all the bangers for last, because they record all this stuff at probably one point and they say, yo, keep that one for the third boy, just hot.
But he got some work to do, because I still got that Black Star. It's still top for me. Album of the year.
Black Star in the Danger Mouse joint.
Yeah, man, for me.
If y'all ain't heard that, y'all need to download that, put that on your playlist
get
tonight.
That ASAP. Yeah. ASAP Rocky. Pause.
Bebo, man, what you thinking, man?
Because he's late.
I know,
so
I know you're a Jay-Z fan, man. I know you Team Jigga. You know what I'm saying? Jigga, but you going to get Nas this joint.
Well, I am a Jay-Z fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Jay-Z fan. More of a Nas fan. So with that said, You're Livingston.
Yeah.
Nas always comes with the classic.
Shout out to E in the building real quick.
Shout out to E.
Shout out to
yes.
First of all, we know E got an AR-15 when she did that Patrick Troy.
That's right.
Yeah, she got an AR in the crib. Go ahead.
No, but
shout out to GA.
If this isn't, this definitely needs to be a classic, and it definitely has the potential to be a classic, or at least a roll through, but like that. Let me say this. The first KD was probably like around a 4.5, but it was like a phenomenal album. It was a masterpiece. KD2 was more of like the Oz is Good album type of album, but it was still
the Brunch on Sunday kind of all white.
Yeah, but it was still a great album. The Magic was just a roll through. So I say all that because what KD3 needs to be, or it needs to have the hold on, will Lauren talk about her haters again on this album and her lateness? Wow. You know what? I doubt that.
Hold on, man. Hey man, Son One's in the building.
One was good.
AK off, man.
Good.
He's saying Nas is better than Jay-Z.
He knows the deal.
Weezy,
let's go.
Goody, bro.
In the building.
Yeah, all day.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
Oh, Mike 100. Hold on, Mike 100 saying bases loaded. Nas going for a grand slam.
I think it could be a grand
off the wall like Andre Dawson. Hold up, man.
No, I think that in short, KD3 could be. But it needs to have that the potency of Magic with the kind of gravitas and allure of the first KD album. Combined.
Man, if it has the caliber of production on that Magic with them bars and storytelling,
Oh
then
man.
yes, it's gonna be album of the year. I would
So
stand
hold on. Let's be clear.
now.
Let's be clear. Now you know when something great happens, the haters come out.
Uh-oh.
Will Jay-Z do something on that week just to mess with Nas? Because you know, every time Nas drops, and I'm a Jay-Z fan, Jay-Z does something.
Hold on, take the kufi from here, put it right there.
Right.
I'm a Jay-Z fan. But Scandalous, will you think he does something?
I don't know, but I hope so. Like we haven't had a Jay-Z album in a while, right? So
Right.
I'm all for it.
There you go. There
Right.
you go. Yeah.
Because let's be clear. Let's be clear.
Competition brings out the best in everybody.
Jay-Z been talking for
So
the
this
party.
thing, what was your
That little
thoughts?
verse he
Scandalous, 'cause
did
we didn't
on-
have you on at the time. What was your thoughts on that Jay-Z verse on the DJ Khaled Mopar music album?
It was long. I don't know if it's his best verse of all time, though.
Nah.
Oh no,
not even close.
Shots in the air for that.
Was it the best verse of the year to you?
Top 5 of the year,
as they say.
What about the Black Slim Shady though?
Oh,
no, I'm just kidding.
the hell is. Yeah, oh yeah, Queen saying they got the ultra black. Yeah. But no, seriously, what was that verse to you, man? Was it? Did you sit back and go, wow, or was it like, you know?
It was just more the same Jay-Z, really, to me.
Okay.
It's essentially the same that we said.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you, Scandalous. I mean, it was more the same to me. But I'm not saying it was bad at all. Like, I'm not saying that was like a whack J verse. I mean, it really wasn't. But it was just a Jay-Z
Hov
verse.
did album.
Yeah.
Hov did.
He's on the Hov did album. Hey, Michael Hunter saying Jay
man.
coming out.
But
every
every time Jay's had a chance, he ain't swung with the fence.
Will.
Here's the thing, though. I think that Jay-Z definitely needs to, if it's allowed, of course, from Nas. Jay-Z definitely needs to make his presence on this album in order to kind of help to further build up that momentum for his secret album that he's working on.
Do you think there might be a Jay-Z verse on this album?
That's what I'm saying. Like he needs
Scandalous. Can you see one?
Yeah, probably because they squashed their beef a long time ago. So,
and he hasn't. And this thing, in my opinion, Nas has lapped him legacy wise.
Ben lapped him.
Let's be clear.
Ben lapped him.
Nas has lapped him, and Nas has came out with a lot of hot garbage albums.
But ever since Lost Tapes 2, he's been killing it.
Ever since then, though, he's been killing it. That
now,
the one with the green dress.
Now if I'm Jay-Z, I'm hitting up Hit Boy right now.
Right.
Facts.
Yeah,
he needs to. He needs
Jay-Z needs to find that secret elixir producer.
Right.
But Jay-Z doesn't have a Hit Boy.
Well, here's the thing, though. That's so true, Iceberg, and what you all said, really. But if you peep Nas's verses out, it's not just Nas being dope when he's rocking over Hit Boy.
Shout out to Queen.
He's been really obsessed with Nas. Remember when he wrote raps for Foxy, putting Nas in the raps?
Yeah, he has.
Come on, let's be clear. He was writing raps for Foxy, doing all that crazy stuff.
Jay has done that, but
Coof. I got the Coof.
Oh yeah, so cool.
I'll put the Coof on, man.
I'll tell you what Jay-Z is doing right now. He's listening to Biggie's song, trying to come up with new lines.
Stop it, Scandalous.
Come on, Scandalous over here. Put it on for you, man.
Like
Carmen saying, bring him out. She want to do the
bring those Biggie's verses out. Bring those Biggie's verses out.
No, but seriously. Yep, and no Kanye
to the nest
with Nas, yeah.
Antiana.
Power just had to slip it in there.
Here's the thing I was going to finish saying, though, with the Nas, it's not just Nas sounding dope over Hit Boy, full stop. We've heard him over Alchemist beat on that latest Cormega, The Realness 2. We heard Nas reconnect with DJ Premier, which is another top album of the year, on that Hip Hop 50 Volume 1 joint, Beat Break. So that's the thing that is dope about an archetype like a Nas is he's found who he needs to marry, production wise, but it spreads onto other dope producers to where it's not just him sounding dope with only this one sector entity. So that's what Jay-Z needs as well. It's not just the person, it's the fact that what can that person do to help propel you moving forward.
I think what Jay Kemp said, I think Bust is gonna drop. I think there's gonna be some big albums dropping. But right now,
more albums coming straight.
The Hermes 10.
Yes,
the Hermes 10 is dropping too.
Well, this is
Hermes
the thing,
10 gonna have some features on there, boy.
What's the best album that you've heard this year so far? We're in October right now. What's your power ranking right now? What's your top 3 right now? Today, albums that drop.
That's for you, Scandalous.
That's all y'all.
Okay.
I'll kick it to you. Go ahead.
In the chat, we need to know what's going on in the chat too. And James, son, what's your top albums right now in the chat? But Scandalous, what's your top? What's your power ranking?
Yeah,
right now, October.
You're the guest. You're the guest, so you know you get first dibs.
I haven't really thought about the top ones.
Well, even if it's not like from 1 to 3, what
just
are
the ones you've been
favorites?
rocking on your playlist right now?
Yeah.
Really, I'm not really listening to much.
Okay.
No, that's fair.
That is fair.
That's fair.
That is fair.
I'm gonna go.
Like I'm still bumping Pop Smoke's album from 2020.
Hey, that's what's up.
No,
we reviewed that album. We reviewed that
Pop
album.
Smoke is silly, man. And RIP to Pop, man. Like that hurt, man. When that happened, man, that hurt.
Yeah,
man. Real talk.
That album's fire.
He was going.
J. Ken, what you got? Before you go in, son saying Nas is the real voice of our era. Let's be clear,
son.
Man.
Indeed.
It was Jay earlier, but Nas is flipped. But what's your power ranking real quick, man? Before we get out of here.
Man, I'm gonna go Black Star, the Fife, and I just think that Benny, that Time to Talk 4 is just a problem. Every time I go back and run it back, it's just a problem, man. You know, from the production to the bars, it's stupid.
Mike 100 saying that Black Thought, the Core Mega, the Black Star, Big Three.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
Smoke, in case they RIP.
Yes, rest in peace.
Black Thought. I'm a bump the Black Thought slightly above the Time to Talk 4, slightly above.
Okay.
I'm talking about a chin hair above
that kind of hair. Okay.
Stop it. What's yours though, Bebo? Your top 3.
Hold on, before you go in, Queen saying Nas. Dang, she a Nas fan. She got the whole collection.
Okay, the whole
KD
collection.
2, 3, and Magic. Let's go, man, for the Queen.
Look, she said F 2022 won all of Nas's last 3.
Magic
2, 3, 4.
Had Magic came out in 2022. I would have said
it bled over to this year though. Let's be clear.
It did.
Well, I mean, I'm going to say Magic then. This is my top 3.
B-boy, what you got real quick, man?
Oh, gosh, I don't have a for sure order. I'll say the latest one that I've been bumping as of late would be the Cheat Codes by Black Thought and DJ Danger Mouse.
Hey,
but go ahead, bro.
No, I was gonna say I'm not mad at you for that.
No, yeah, but I will say that Fife is still right up there. I know he's been at number 1. Yeah, that Fife Forever. The Ghetto. I think it's called Ghetto Gods. Who are those brothers, man?
You talking about
the name just escaped me.
Was just jamming that with someone in Phoenix. You talking about
they're those 2 brothers. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all, if y'all are watching.
The dudes from ATL. Yeah, it slipped my mind too.
Some put that in the chat, man. Anybody heard of Rome Streets? I ain't heard of dude.
Yeah, Rome Streets is dope, man.
Rome Streets is dope. Yep.
You know what? Y'all gotta put me on, man.
That Freddie Gibbs was nice, but I don't know if it'll be a top 5. But that you know what? I gotta say too, the DJ Premier Hip Hop Volume 1.
Earth Gang. We was talking about Earth Gang.
Earth Gang.
Earth Gang.
Thank you.
Earth Gang.
He said son's been bumping at 1, 2.
P-Rhyme.
Yep. That Magic still burnt. Yeah, that Magic still serious. I was playing that today, man. That dedicated.
Yeah.
Man. Come on.
Oh
man.
yeah.
I gotta shout out Kendrick too, because Kendrick's still in my deck.
Kendrick did his thing, and Pusha did, but one that gets slept on that doesn't get mentioned is Shay Noir.
And shout out Shay Noir.
Shay Noir too.
Is there any new artists that you've been feeling on Scandalous?
Well, like I said, Pop Smoke, but he ain't around no more. And Polo G. I kind of like Polo G.
Okay, Polo G.
I'm just getting the Polo G. It's a unique flavor.
hardcore drill.
Yeah,
Like
he
it
did
just
a
hit me
track
like,
over the Tupac's Changes beat, and as well as Smooth Criminal.
Okay,
So
so
that's kind of
grabbed
what
you.
got me into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, and shout out to Power too, because that Paul Wall and Terminology was a dope
Yes.
album.
Let's be clear, that JID, man,
JID
that
too.
story
Ooh,
joint.
man.
That JID
This
is
has
a
been a
problem.
phenomenal
Great
year
year
for
for hip-hop.
2022.
And you forgot Lloyd
Really
Banks
has.
dropped too.
Yes.
Let's be clear.
Second course of the
Lloyd,
inevitable.
that
You're
Lloyd
right.
Banks is serious, man.
Yep.
Let's be clear.
That the realness, not mega philosophy. That was a dope album with a Large Professor years ago. But that Core Mega Realness too. That one's a heavy one.
Power saying
Wow,
Polo
super
G got a
heavy.
shout out to Papu too.
Yeah. Yep.
What do you
come
guys
on,
feel
man.
about the Prodigy song that came out?
It was dope. You talking about the one with the visuals?
Mm-hmm.
We
I
actually
like
did
it.
a review on
I didn't
that.
like the visuals, but I like the song though. What
Yeah,
was
the
that? That
visuals
was
could have been better.
That was Premiere, right?
Yeah, DJ Premier produced
Premiere
that
did.
one.
I liked it. It was cool. The album was decent. I like the
was.
beginning of the album. I
Yeah.
think they've been doing a good job. Their state has been doing a good job dropping music. Like what we were just talking about with Big Pun. Like, man, we don't have no music, but at least we're getting something from Prodigy. I don't think it's polished, super polished.
Yep.
I heard Sony has a Big Pun album now, but they haven't put it out.
If that's the
Can we
case,
get
You would
that?
think they put it out because number
Yeah.
one, that you've been having the conversation with Fat Joe and them. You have Fat Joe with the
Hair Squad.
with hosting the BT Hip
Oh,
Hop
okay.
Awards this year. To me, hey man, it's a good time to put it out there to get that flavor back, man. And then also that brings back all his catalog.
Yep. And
Exactly.
shout out to Elephant Man Bones too, man.
And that's kind
Yes.
of like I do with remixing. You know,
Yes.
remixing
Monty
out
Caesar
too.
new
Yep.
fans that come across my remixes, and they'll be exposed to the original catalog.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, Payne,
The
RJ
RJ
Payne.
Oh,
That
the
song
Pain
they had
is
with Ice-T and Bun B.
Ooh.
Stop the cat.
That Pain is stupid nice.
Yeah.
It's
Stupid nice.
as y'all can tell. Wait, the OT kick the click.
That kick though, click.
Come on, man. Also, man, that
it does.
someone saying that Prodigy joint, it's
It
hard.
was.
Yeah,
That's so hard.
hard to
It
pay, man.
was.
But
But
this
again,
is
I like
what?
Amani Caesar too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Caesar's player too, man.
That
this is
that Smoke Dizzle, man. That Driplematic, man, is still one of my favorite joints.
Well,
this
shoot,
year.
that one, and the latest one we just reviewed this past Saturday. The
Yeah.
the 10,000 hours.
Smoke Dizzle on the roll right now, man.
Yeah, Royce and
Man,
Joel's
this
Harbor
thing,
City.
Scandalous, are
Harbor
you a
City.
fan of Royce and Joel Ortiz?
Yeah, definitely.
Because that album that they just
I actually
dropped
did a
was
whole.
nice.
It's actually funny because in 2010 I did a whole mixtape for Slaughterhouse, and it was like all over DatPiff and the internet. You can still probably find it. It's called
Wow.
Genocide.
Scandalous?
Yep.
Called Genocide.
Come on,
All
man.
right.
Yeah, we gotta put that link
okay.
out. Put that link out.
Okay.
Another
That's my old
exclusive.
shit though. I can do a lot better now.
Hey
Another
man, sometimes
exclusive.
sometimes the old stuff roll.
That's
Let's be
right.
clear.
But folks, this just goes to show you when we try to ask for a top 5 in 2022,
It's
you
hard.
get like 5 times that.
You get that Michael
that's-
Jordan when he shot that 3, man, on Portland. You know.
Yep.
You
Yep,
don't
and
know.
it just goes to
It's
show
hard.
the great quality of music that cats
Great
from
albums this
then,
year.
from cats that rocked started off then to cats that even started off over the last few years ago or so is doing it. So if you haven't some of this stuff or most of it, check it out. If you have, continue to share with us what your thoughts are of 2022 in the comment section below, and definitely give DJ Scandalous some love tonight for being our guest
Come on,
feature
man. Like,
on the
dude,
world's
first of all,
most
not
dangerous
only the
podcast.
interview, he rolled through the whole episode with us,
He
man.
rode
Oh,
through
yeah.
the whole
And-
episode with us.
And he
Hour
roasted,
and a
and he
half.
roasted right with us too.
Yeah.
I love about the show. You know.
Yeah.
Before we get up out of here, I think this King Disease is gonna be amazing. I can't wait to hear it. Shout out to Mike D and Coop. They had a great take on it. Go check them out. Rap Roundtable. All of DJ Scandalous's platforms, man. We're gonna be talking about this until the end of the year, man. So if you want to grow with us on this hip hop family, man, go check out all of DJ Scandalous platforms. Go check out Hip Hop Junkies, all the stuff that we got going on, man. You want to tap in with us because this is where hip hop lives. It ain't hot 9-7. It's over here. Let's
over
be
here.
clear. Pull out the AK.
Yeah.
Again, man,
Not
before we get
this.
up out of here, man.
Right here.
Right here. Before we get out of here, man, what you guys' thoughts? Any shout outs before we get up out of here real quick?
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to our homie Son One. Go check out his channel. That's simply marvelous. If you and your Marvel
head,
nerd,
that's where you go.
nerd bag like me, that's the place you want to be at. You know what I'm saying? Don't get snapped though. If you talk too slick over it, you might get snapped one good time. But
Hey, hold on. Yeah, you see that? I didn't ask it. I was gonna let you roll. I was gonna let you roll, Scandalous, but
yo,
people
go
want to
ahead.
know, huh?
Well, what happened was back in, we were talking about my build for this track that has like 228 million views, right? So Method Man's on the opening verse, and I had Tupac, Eazy-E, Freddie Gibbs on the hook, and I have Ice Cube on there, and then I have Tupac at the end, right? So that shit blew up overnight. Like within the first month, it probably already had 20 million views, right? Which was incredible. I just made that track thinking it's just gonna be another track I just put up for fun, right? I didn't expect it to go crazy like it did. Well, what ended up happening was a bunch of people started tagging my remix on his on Method Man's Instagram, right? So he made a story and he basically said, "Fuck DJ Scandalous, this song is whack." And he was like, "I would never rap over a beat like that either," So, and then there's a couple times he took shots at me, and he actually even commented on my video too, as well.
Wow.
So,
but it's got more views than some of his
exactly.
stuff.
So, like, I'm a big fan. Like, I have WuTang Clan on my wall, right? So, like,
shout out. So shout out to Wu, man. Come on, man. All day.
Right.
So to me, it's like it was kind of hurtful, but at the same time, like if he noticed my remixes, obviously I'm doing something right. So I'm not really sure if it's because that he dissed me because he didn't like the beat, or is because I put Ice Cube and Tupac on there and it was stealing some of his shine. I don't know if it's because I removed the original artist that Street Life was on there. So I'm not really sure.
Could have been some of that too.
Hey man, I know what it is. He didn't get a check. He didn't get a check from it. He wants some of that money. That's why he's mad.
That could be it too. But look, all he would have to do is talk to me. He can make an official version, put on Spotify, be one of his biggest songs.
Do you hear that, Meth man? Hey, dude, put down the weights for a minute. Hit up my man Scandalous. Make that happen. You know what I'm saying? So, but shout out to Meth though all day.
Shout out to Meth, man. Shout out to Cal.
But again, any shout outs before we get up out of here, man?
Scandalous, you got it tonight, man.
Yeah, give us some shout outs, man.
Just shout out to all you guys, doing your thing here, and shout out to everyone in the chat. I'm glad you guys pulled through, you come through, you support people like this that want to talk about old school music and new school as well.
Yes, sir. Bebo P, can take us home, man.
We definitely appreciate everybody once again, as already mentioned, for rocking with us. DJ Scandalous, thank you for rocking with us and sharing your pearls of wisdom with the people. Shout out to you, brothers, as always. Shout out to B. And if this is your first time rocking with us, welcome. If this is your first time rocking with DJ Scandalous, I'm sure he's going to say the same thing. Go ahead and support DJ Scandalous at the platforms the Iceberg just shared. Definitely do what you got to do in order to not only get through the week, but to thrive. And thank you for rocking with us. God bless you all and be safe. And Iceberg or J Camp or Scandalous, one of you brothers can take us home.
No, I mean, you said it all, man. Just a couple of some of our soldiers have been riding with us. Power 6.
Yeah.
Mike 100. Good to hear from
all
him
of our
again
supporters.
Today.
In the building.
Carmen,
TBS West.
Queen, definitely tap in with us again.
Before I forget too, if you're feeling frisky, don't think I forgot. Go ahead and send a little cash. Cash us outside. Let me stop. No, but go ahead. Y'all go ahead.
James, tap in with us again.
Now,
man.
how you gonna talk about my money being monopoly?
Stop it.
As I do my little monopoly mustache.
Stop.
My bad. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, J Camp. I don't know.
I think I got all the shout outs that I can think.
Let's be clear, man. This is episode 130, principles or views, and that's the biggest thing we talked about with Kanye, NORE, and this is why we had DJ Scandalous on, man. He's getting the views, but it's still principle behind what he's doing. He's doing it the real way. He's not faking it. And this is why we saluting him tonight, man. So this is just a salute to DJ Scandalous. Definitely giving his flowers, man. So
we appreciate you.
We got to give him the flowers, but we also got to pay the man. So again, go over to his platforms, subscribe, follow, like what he's doing, man. Let's make the platforms even bigger. MyRapverse.com. Go check it out. Again, man, we're doing some big stuff, man. He's doing some crazy stuff. So we're going to collab on some things. You're going to see some stuff going on. But again, Scandalous, LB the Podfather, J Kent, Bebo P, Iceberg Slim, aka Greg Popovich. You know what I'm saying? That's how we go down, man.
He actually put that in the bar too. We might have to get that remix by DJ Scandalous too. Might have to send
man, we'll see you guys Saturday, man.
Definitely, definitely come back again, DJ Scandalous.
We gotta have it back.
Anytime.
We gotta get your official Kofi too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. And we're gonna send some of these.
Throw some money
have the people send some of these your way too.
Again, man, fresh out
Monopoly money.
My Rap Verse, DJ Scandalous, man. We out, man.
Peace.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Let's go. World's Most Dangerous Podcast.
Bebo P's in the building. What's good?
Going bar for bar with it.
Shouts out to the fans.